Hi, and welcome to my video analysis of the article exploring a principal's role in cross-sector partnerships, sense-making, and politics in a high-performing early college high school. The article was written by Julia Duncan and David DeMatthews. Um, in a nutshell, the article was a qualitative case study that was investigating the leadership role of a principal, Mr. Javier Rodriguez, which is a pseudonym, at a high-performing early college high school in Texas. The study focused on how he navigated and negotiated cross-sector partnerships between K-12 and higher education institutions to support first-generation low-income Latinx students in earning their associate's degrees and completing high school. Um, it was interesting to me that it was focused on low-income Latinx students, which Fowler talks about on page 62 in the book, the economic and demographic scenarios. So they Fowler touched upon a few of those things. The key themes and findings in this article um, were also connected to page 59 in Uric, which talked about charter schools representing both decentralization and expansion of a quasi market of education providers. That just made me feel like that this was about dual enrollment or dual credit as the authors talk about it. Um, and Ulrich talks about, the systemic effect such that all schools gradually improve and refer to, or what do I say, like solve the problem of equity gaps. They're reduced as if it were. Um, so, as mentioned earlier, the article was on students earning dual credit in early college high school programs. Um, uh, Talking about their access and equity. The models require collaboration, and it was example or a case study about his collaboration between school districts and colleges. But there wasn't so much research that was focused on how principals manage these partnerships. The two research questions on how did Principal Rodriguez make sense of and navigate the reform of the system? How did he collaborate and negotiate with college and district stakeholders to meet his goals? Not two main, but the two theoretical frameworks was sense-making theory, which explores how individuals interpret policy and context, and micro-political theory examines how stakeholders use influence and power to pursue goals. So, Principal Rodriguez's leadership approach, um, it kind of reminded me of what Fowler talks about on page 19, with the fact that school administrators play a major role in implementing new policies, regardless of whether the new policy originated at the federal, state, or local level. They're expected to develop and plan to motivate teachers and others to cooperate, marshal the necessary resources, and provide feedback about the process. I feel like that falls upon administrators often. Um, the vision and background for this article was that the first generation college graduate from the same region, Rodriguez valued both academic rigor and adolescent development. His leadership aimed to combine high expectations with a strong student supporting his students. Fowler also discusses these controversies were not random. A high percentage of them centered on issues in two areas, so that, administrators have to deal with controversies, usually in the two areas of sexuality and religion. However, this made me think about the fact that it was Latinx students and early college talking about, their economic status, which may prevent them to go to college. This just makes it easier for them. So he had to negotiate with BRCC, a college. He pushed for students to take course directly on a college campus for authenticity and cost efficiency for them and their families. If we look at statistics, there are many marginalized groups. He faced resistance from professors and administrators, but overcame it through relationship building, explaining his educational philosophy, and compromising on elective courses while preserving core college experiences for students. He also had to negotiate with school board, advocating for gradual college immersion rather than rapid acceleration. It was rejected, a regional push for accelerated pathways to local universities to ensure that students retained broader post-secondary options. Ultimately, he made compromises under direct pressure, allowing limited participation in the accelerated track. I feel like this video is going to go a little bit longer. I'm sorry. Um, but it was just a really interesting article. He combined formal authority, his leadership, with informal influence. So I feel like he used both of those theoretical frameworks. He emphasized perspective taking, understanding each partner's needs to negotiate effectively, framed every issue with an opportunity for win-win solution. Um, Almost done. The implications for this, though, that showed were for leadership and policy was I feel like principal training should include preparation for navigating cross-sector politics. Effective principals must learn to manage complex partnerships with diplomacy and vision. Schools should preserve flexibility to innovate based on student needs. The implications for cross-sector reforms was collaboration between K-12 and the IHEs must balance academic rigor with developmental readiness, and early college high school should avoid funneling students into predetermined paths and instead prepare them for post-secondary opportunities. Um, so, in a nutshell, Mr. Rodriguez's success illustrated how skilled leadership that's rooted in empathy, strategy, and collaboration can bridge institutional divides to serve underrepresented students. His case offered a model for navigating the politics of educational reform while maintaining a student-centered vision. I apologize for the video being a little bit long, but I really enjoyed the article. So thank you.